Jaws. Sorry about that. Jaws, a movie that was created to strike fear and horror with a fictional beast in the 1970s, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Phenomenal in terms of the event that The Force Awakens has created.
Richard Dreyfuss as Matt Hooper and Robert Shaw as Quint. Jaws basically tells a tale of a bloodthirsty great white shark attacking people who were swimming or enjoying their time on the beach. Character Chrissy Watkins happened to dive in the sea one night and unfortunately met her end with the shark. The hand of Chrissy Watkins was soon discovered by Brody Martin, who in the story plays the role of Chief Officer on Martha's Vineyard. He decides to bring the bloody hand to an oceanographer named Matt Hooper to analyze what happened to it. Matt had a hunch that it was a large creature with razor-sharp jaws, like a shark, but couldn't do anything due to the lack of evidence. Soon the creature was identified as the great white that went on several rampages and the one that attacked several groups of people at shore. Until a meeting was held, and this was where Matt and Brody met Quint. The three of them, Matt, Quint, and Brody, decided to face the shark head-on together. But during the process of executing a shark, someone has to die, and Quint is the one. Quint failed to stay alive during the process of executing a shark and fell into the hands of the life-taking monster, while Matt and Brody managed to defeat the shark and live to see another day. Surprised that Matt was alive while all the other people were brutally murdered by the teeth that were as sharp as razors. I mean, like, how? Matt survived even though he was in the territory of the shark, while both can't even freaking survive a shark attack. Like, are you kidding me? The boat compared to a small human, and then he's swimming like deep in sea compared to Many other people in the 1970s found it horrifying and had always felt like they were there in the movie with the characters. Jaws fact: did you know in the summer, people are scared to go to the beach after viewing the movie? Actually, the reason is rather simple: cinematic effects. There are many types of cinematic effects, and I could go on for hours and hours and hours and hours and talking about each one of them. But today, we are only going to review on the tension and the plot, highlights, the theatrical elements, and some fan favorites. Ready, set, go! Get out of the water. In this scene, it depicts the celebration of Independence Day, and the beach was crowded. Brody and his wife and son were at the beach relaxing, while a few of the residents of Amity Island headed over to Brody for a few short conversations, while Brody was trying to observe very closely on a few people who were swimming in the sea. His wife saw that he was stressed, decides to give him a massage while both of them are in frame. This is called the two-shot. It basically shows them both of the characters equally and kind of tells you on what their relationship is. As for Brody and Ellen, played by Lauren Gary, you know what kind of relationship they're in. And you're also probably wondering, what about the other two guys who interacted with him? Well, it counts, but they are just basically Brody's clients, as Brody's duty is to protect the citizens as Chief Officer of Martha's Vineyard. Moving on. As the people were enjoying their time on the beach, a man was playing fetch with a branch of wood with his black Labrador retriever named Pivot. So basically the branch of wood is a prop, as well as the shark used in the movie. Actually, come to think of it, Steven Spielberg originally wanted a shark trainer to train a shark, but nothing like that existed even until this day. So they decided to use a mechanical shark instead. That was not all. If you watch Chris's scene, they used an effect that they created called the Insane. We are kind of in a hurry, so I'll make this fast and quick. By using sound effects and the actors' acting skills, by letting the imaginations of the audiences fly. In other words, when the audiences don't see anything, they tend to imagine what is there. Let's take a horror movie for example. They would play a really suspenseful music and the camera slowly moves in a room while the audience's imagination just slowly kicks in, thinking that something horrifying will appear or something really dumb will appear. Either way. So yeah, that's basically it. Heading back. Soon, the owner was unable to find his dog and decides to call out its name while the camera films a branch that was used to play fetch floating in water. There wasn't really an explanation for where the dog went. People have theories that it was swept by undercurrents out to sea, or it was devoured by the shark. Higher chances are it was probably devoured by the shark. But either way, it tries to foreshadow that something really, really bad is going to happen by giving you a hint. Just like detective stories, they tend to give you hints. This is like a hint where it foreshadows something really bad is going to happen. The story continues. A boy named Alex M. Kittner was swimming further from shore while the other kids were a little closer. The camera started going underneath kids' feet and headed towards the direction of Alex with suspenseful music. In this state, there's two kinds of cinematic effects. One, point of view, and two, non-staggered music. When the camera was filming the shot of it traveling towards Alex, it was actually displaying the shark's point of view, while adding sound effects to create more suspense like I mentioned. In addition, the camera zooms in on Brody's face, and this is in fact named the zoom in. The name basically tells you everything, so yeah, I'll kind of briefly explain it. Zoom in basically zooms in on basically a character's face and shows their emotions or expressions. Anyways, the name basically tells you everything, so yeah, like I mentioned just now. In the end, the boy's floaty was left floating on water and slowly driven to shore by the waves of the sea with some blood mixed with it. While the mother blindly just comes up and calls out his name, Alex, I mean, he's dead, Mom. So, rest in peace, Alex. Quinn is devoured. This is one of my favorite scenes and one of the best scenes I've ever seen. Quinn is devoured. In this scene, it shows that Quinn, played by Robert Shaw, was slowly chomped down by a shark. While constantly spitting out blood with every chomp the shark takes, it must be really painful. Like, I'm serious. Like, you know, it just hurts watching it. In this scene, they apply non-staggered music, but only a little, unlike the previous scene. If you listen closely, basically what this clip does is it shows a sequence of sound, like not just any sound created by music instruments. Well, it is music, but it's still sound, so yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, basically this clip of sound, it helps to enhance the suspense in a scene, making you, the viewers, have a sense of indication, that viewers have a sense of indication, or me or you, whoever's watching, that something bad or foreshadow that something really, really bad is going to happen. And in terms of Jaws, it's pretty bad. Anyways, that was just the types of sound. Moving on, although non-staggered music was used, there's another important effect they use, the close-up shot. In order to show the expressions of the characters, they tend to close up the camera on the characters' faces and showing the emotions of the characters in the scene, basically. In this situation, it basically shows the emotion and expression of Quinn screaming in pain while having an effect of inflicting a pain on you, on me, on the audience. You know, the thing with feeling as if you are being bitten by the shark. I've felt it. I mean, ouch. Not only did they make you feel the pain of the shark, but they also gave you a sense of fear. How, you ask? I would say it's magic. Nah, just kidding. Steven Spielberg is a great director. He basically redefines the effects of each camera angles by taking the camera up close to the jaws of the shark. Ha, get it? Back to topic. He was able to show the immense power of the shark just charging up from the water with its jaws wide open, striking fear in the hearts of the viewers and audiences. Jaws fact. In the 1970s, after the movie was launched, the movie was so terrifying that there was an effect named after it called the Jaws effect. It heavily affected the government in the northern, or I think southern, Australian government. The government tend to believe in the Jaws fact rather than the scientific evidence. So, yeah, it's kind of wrong, don't you think, to believe in an actual movie rather than an actual scientific fact. But yeah, I'm not really sure why they did that. Can you believe that they actually believed the movie instead of scientific evidence? Bad, I feel. But like seriously though, how did they believe all sharks were like Jaws? Don't know, guess you'll just have to ask them. Guess we ran out of time, so yeah. First of all, thank you guys for watching. The movie is great. I would rate it a 10 out of 10 or like 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 is because during that time, technology was really, I wouldn't say advanced, but less advanced than what we have now. And based on what Steven Spielberg did, it was an amazing work. So what he did, he redefined filming. He redefined everything. He was a great director, and he is still a great director, and he works well. So yeah, the director's really famous and old now. I left you a link down below. Make sure you check out his latest movies. I would recommend you to go watch Ready Player One. It's coming out soon, or it's already out probably when the time this video is out. If there's anything you would like to know, you can always Google it. Anyways, ladies and boys, girls and men, I rest my case. Hey, sorry, by the way, I forgot to mention one thing that Chris Stuckman mentioned. I'll make sure I'll link his channel below. Make sure you go check him out. He basically mentioned about John Williams, the composer of music of Jaws and Jurassic Park. Basically, most of the Warner Bros. Movies, or Warner Bros. Movies that were directed by Steven Spielberg. Make sure you go check him out. It's really good. Even though he used simple music composing music. He composed simple music, but effective, suspenseful effects. So yeah, make sure you check out his channel. He has further explanation on it. Anyways, bye-bye.